Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rizzano, and this is another episode of the world famous, the University of Love, the best podcast in 1, 2, 3 galaxies. But ladies and gentlemen, you and I, we just call this show Online Marketing Moves, and we are coming to you live today. Today is a bonus episode of the podcast. It's a weekend episode, ladies and gentlemen. At the time of this recording, it is Saturday morning. I am out here in the beautiful state of Arkansas, about 2 minutes away from the beautiful state of Missouri. We are out here, ladies and gentlemen. We are out here perusing, cruising, thinking of ways to make the business grow, thinking of ways to make all the monies, and really focusing in on projects and different things that I need to do to really accelerate and grow the business. And ladies and gentlemen, yesterday we talked about something. I talked about something on a podcast. We talked about scams, okay? Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you this. I wanted to share this with you. I didn't say it yesterday, but there's nothing wrong with taking a course. There's nothing wrong with taking a class about something that you want to do. If there's something you're interested in, take the class, take the course, take the lesson, because we can always learn. You're never too old to learn. One of the most idiotic things that I've ever done in my life is, I remember I used to read a lot. And when I got out of the military, for some reason my reading just sort of tapered off. And for a while, for a few years, I just stopped reading. And, that was that's one of the few things that I can say I regret, is that I just stopped reading. Now, I started going back to the library. I would always read magazine articles and stuff like that. I would always thumb through books, but I would never sit down and just read a book. And that was one of the mistakes I made, because you can always learn. There's always room to learn. So I'm not saying that, you shouldn't learn from different people. You shouldn't take different courses. But I just want you to be aware of, because a lot of times the people that, we talked about yesterday, and I'm not gonna badmouth people. I'm not gonna badmouth anybody again. Something. I'm very passionate about you not getting scammed. People not getting scammed. I'm very passionate about that. And so sometimes, because I'll give you a little behind the scenes. Me and my friend, one of my great friends, we talk about all the time, going to the library, learning information from books versus learning things from people on YouTube. And because a lot of times you have to be mindful of, people on YouTube are here to entertain you, and a lot of times, is it more sizzle than steak? A lot of times it is, but there's plenty of places you can go to learn things. There's plenty of courses online. There's plenty. I mean, I signed up for a course online about writing. I remember I took this class. It was from a university. You could have paid a little more, and they would have gave you like a little certificate. Of course, I didn't pay, but you could have done that. They have courses on Udemy that you can pay, and so they have different avenues you can go down. But what you want to be mindful of, what you want to watch out for, be aware of, is people that are online. They are great at YouTube, great at marketing themselves, and then they come along and try to sell you a $2,000, $2,500 course, and the first thing they tell you is, "Hey, get an LLC." You can go down to your local library for the price of free and learn all that stuff yourself. You don't really need somebody to tell you, hey man, get an LLC, because the tax structure. They have plenty of books on tax structure. They have all kinds of books on all that kind of stuff. Financial management. There's many ways you can go. And now, because you see more and more scams with crypto, crypto and money, and everybody's in a rush to get rich. And, you know, you can make a lot of money. You can create wealth for yourself. You more than likely you won't ever get rich at a job. We all know that. You and I, the chances of us getting rich at a job are slim to none. Okay, okay. Let's just be honest. So you can create something for yourself. You can, learn how to make money online. You can learn, a service that people might need. You can learn that. You can learn how to, like I said, you don't have to be in front of the camera. You can learn how to edit videos. You can learn how to produce sound quality. This is all the stuff that you can learn anything and start working on for yourself on the side and making plenty of money. I'm not saying you shouldn't take classes, but you just have to be very mindful of the people online, because a lot of people online are more they know how to market themselves, and they know how to sell $2,000 courses, $20,000 Amazon automation businesses that will get you nowhere. Okay, and the point is, I don't want you to get stuck in the mud after spending $2,000. I want you to be able to prosper and carry on with yourself. And the most important thing out of all that is believing in yourself, taking action, and going for it. You're gonna fall down sometimes. We all do, but I mean, pick yourself up, and you'll be okay. It's like with this video I watched, and this guy, the great Jim Rohn, he said, how long would you give your average baby to learn how to walk? And people are like, what? It's like, how long would you give your average baby? As much time as it takes. How long do you wait for a child to learn how to be potty trained? As long as it takes. So, in my 18 months of being in my 2 years of being a father, because once your spouse or whoever gets pregnant, however you have the baby, once they get pregnant, you become a parent, And so in my 2 years of being a parent, I learned watching my daughter every day. Watching her every day, you learn why stop. She's learned how to she crawled, then she barely wanted to walk. She started walking. Now the child's kind of running down the hallway. She moves pretty quick. She's learning how to feed herself. Everything it's not like she stops. She doesn't stop. She doesn't quit. She gets frustrated. She gets mad. She screams sometimes, but she doesn't stop. She keeps going. And when you start looking at things in that light, when you start looking at things like that in the child's eyes, then it's like, why should I, as an adult, stop doing what I'm trying to do? Why stop doing, let's say this pot. If I told you, hey man, in the first month that I did the podcast, I got 0 listeners, and if I just quit, then we wouldn't be at this point. Well, now we're getting listeners on a daily basis. We have people downloading episodes every day. And it's going to grow more. It's going to grow more, and it's going to grow more as time goes on, And just think, this ain't even the most marketed podcast in the world. And I get downloads. I get subscribers. People listen to the show. So if you think, hey man, I'm gonna try this for 30 days and then quit, no, 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 no. This has been, take your time, keep striving, keep going. You know, you might have to adjust. You might have to do some adjusting, do some, correction, do some things that will work for you, but don't ever just absolutely quit. If you want to climb a mountain, just climb the mountain. There's gonna be wind, there's gonna be snow, there's gonna be rain. Let's say you're climbing a big old mountain. There's gonna be all kinds of things, but that doesn't mean you stop. You just keep climbing. The elements change. You might need to, move to the left, move to the right, but keep going up. You know what I mean? And so for you, for me, for all of us, just keep going. But be mindful of this. Be mindful of the scam artists. Be mindful of the fluff. I had a cousin. I love him. God bless him. But he's always telling me about somebody and on the internet, a financial quote unquote guru on the internet. And I'm always like, I'm very leery of that, just because I get my financial advice out of books. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad. I think that's a good book. It's a good financial book. It's now. Do I personally follow Robert Kiyosaki today? No, but do I think he had a good book? Yes, and I have his. I bought a board game of Robert Kiyosaki's that I can't wait to play with my daughter one day, and it's how to get out of the rat race, how to build assets, and make money from your assets and use those to pay your bills. And so that way you might be able to get out of the job if you want to get out of your job, It's a good board game. I like it. I can't wait to play it with my daughter. And it's like $70 though. That's the me, I try not to spend too much money, but that's just me. But yeah, there's courses, there's the library, there's always use the resources available to you. There's never think that let's say, there's a course for $2,000 and you don't have the $2,000. There's ways around it. Go to the library, go do research on your own, go look at Google, look at other YouTube videos, do this, do that. Do what you have to do to get the stuff that you need. There's more than one way to skin a cat, okay? And now, we're going to talk about one more thing and then we're going to get out of here. I'm going to talk to you today about listening. And while listening is very important, listening is one of the most important things you can do when you want to run a business. You want to be in, if you want to make more money in sales, you want to make more money in business, listening is a fundamental key. Listen to people. And I will tell you a story and then we will go why you should listen. I was a young lad, okay? I was 16. I was 16 years old. I met this girl at the time. I thought she was the most beautiful girl in the world, okay? I thought this girl could walk on water, all right? And so she was very beautiful. And at the time, I didn't say a whole lot. So that didn't help. That didn't help when you're quiet with girls when you're 16. That didn't help. And so I was quiet, didn't say a whole lot. She was pretty, very pretty. She got a lot of attention. We was all in the summer program. She got a lot of attention, and I thought to myself, I thought this is my dream woman, at the time. Long time ago. But I thought this is my dream woman. How can I get her? and this story relates to listening. I said, how can I get this girl? I said, you know what? I gotta talk to her a little bit. I gotta figure out what angle we can go down, because as you well know, now I don't know about women, but I know most men, when you're young, when you're 15, 16, 17, 18, you spend a lot of time trying to plot, how can I get to this girl? How can I talk to this girl? Yeah, I have a brother, and God bless him. Some of you might be like him. Most of us ain't. Okay? But my brother, he had the ability to just walk up to a woman and say, hey, what's up? Can I get your number? And then he would do that. I didn't have that ability. I had to plot, I had to plan, I had to, really hone in and like, let's see what we can do. So, talked to this girl a few times. I said, you know what? I'm gonna listen to her. And I spent a lot of time listening to her, and we talked more, and I listened more, and I listened more, and it got to the point where we was having these conversations every day. I was listening. I would tell some jokes. I would talk enough, tell a few jokes. She would laugh. I remember one time we was out there and it was raining, and she's like, I love the rain. And I said, ooh, me too. And I do enjoy the rain. And so we sat out there for a little bit longer, and I was talking, trying to tell jokes. And this thing was working. That's what I'm getting at. Me listening to her was putting me ahead of the curve. And somebody said, I remember this guy, he said, she likes you because you're so nice and you listen. And I said, and so listening to the customer, listening to a potential buyer, listening to a prospect, listening to the wants and their needs will get you further down the road than you just blubbering on and on and on and on. There's no, let's say you are trying to sell me on a product. I'll give you an example. I used to get leads for this. I used to be an affiliate for this software service. And so you could buy leads, and you would get the lead, and you would call the lead up. And the service was $50 a month. Right? And I called up a guy and I said, hey, you filled out a form. You are interested in this product. I would like to talk to you about the product. And I got into the spiel, and he said, how much is it a month? I said $50. He said $50 is a lot. He said $50 is a lot every month. And I said, and I made the mistake, and I said $50 ain't that bad. And what I should have said, instead of saying $50 ain't that bad, which is a terrible thing to say, I should have listened, and I should have told him why. I should have explained to him how the $50 a month will pay for itself, And sometimes when people have objections, it doesn't mean they say no. It just means they are hesitant. They are leery about the service, or they might be leery about you, because most of the times we buy from people that we like. We buy from people that we trust. And so if I would have been listening better at his plea, at his objection, then I could have said something better than, hey, $50 ain't that bad. I could have said something better than that. I could have said, here's the reason why $50 is not, you're not paying $50 a month. You are investing $50, but the return on the investment would be worth the $50. And I could have went into the program, how the program worked, this, that, and the other, how his business will benefit from using the service. I could have went into a lot of different directions, but I did not listen. And that cost me, that cost me a few things before I got better and before I started listening more. Because at the time, when you first start selling, you might have watched a TV show or something, and you think, okay, this guy's gonna say no, I'm gonna argue, and we're gonna go back and forth. It does not quite work that way. People don't really want to argue. People want to buy. People want to buy things. We all know this. The economy. If people didn't want to buy things, the economy would be zero. People want to spend money, but people want to buy things, and it's up to you to be able to create a a a good enough a good enough reason for them to buy from you. Because they will buy. They might not buy from you, but they will buy from somebody. This guy probably bought the service from somebody else. Not necessarily. He didn't want the service. He just didn't want to buy from me after my bad answer. And so listening will get you further down the road than you expect. Always talking and always, just running off at the mouth does not do you any good. Sometimes you need to listen. Sometimes you need to get a feel for the person. You need to get a feel for the audience. You need to get a feel for your customers. And the more you listen, the better off you will be. The more you listen, the more money you can make. The better the service that you give, the more payout you can receive. It's all about being great customer service. You don't have to bend over and kiss nobody's backside, but you definitely want to be one of these. You definitely want to be one of these people that give good customer service. I remember when I had T-Mobile. The phone service stunk back in the 2006. I used to drive through West Texas. The phone wouldn't work for 4 hours. And one night, the phone just completely did not work. Could not make a phone call, anything. And T-Mobile, I was used to just get annoyed. But I would call into T-Mobile to pay my bill. I would call into T-Mobile for anything. And they were so nice. They were so sweet. I was just like, you know what? I'm going to stick with T-Mobile. And I stuck with T-Mobile for at least 5 years. Probably 4 years too long because I was over the road then. And the service was bad. You would go to certain places, it was just bad. I needed a phone that would, because you're going out in the middle of nowhere, and if your truck breaks down or something, you had no service. But they were so nice on the phone, and they had such a good customer service, and they would give me little discounts here and there. And T-Mobile was they listened so well that it was hard for me to be like, man, forget y'all. But they had great customer service. So listening pays off. Now, it paid off for me. Now, I'll tell you the conclusion of the story. I did not win the girl, but listening got me in a position where I could have won. You know what I mean? So always be listening. Always be on the lookout. It helps in relationships. It has helped me with my wife tremendously because I will give you another example. Then we'll get out of here. I used to be a terrible gift giver for my wife, but I finally started listening to the woman, and the gift giving has gotten a lot better. The relationship is improved in that way. I'm not a schlub anymore when it comes to gift giving. I'm pretty good because I listen, and so treat your customers as if you treat your relationship with your significant other. Okay. It's important because the more you listen, the more you can make. The more you listen, the more you can get. Okay? So, and don't, when I say listen, more you can get, listen because you want to. Listen because you care. You have to come from a genuine place. You can't just be like, well, okay, I'm going to listen. Now give me your money. It doesn't work that way. You want to be mindful. Every customer, every relationship that you encounter, no matter if it's at the store, church, whatever you do, every relationship is important in your life. And you want to take care of these relationships. And you want to be the best that you can be. Because the better off you are, the better results you will get from other people. The more you put into something, the more they will put in back into you. And that's how that works. All right? But ladies and gentlemen, that is it. I hope you enjoyed this episode this weekend. We will be back Monday with the all new episode of Online Marketing Moves. But until then, my name is Tony Rizzano. Thank you for listening. Enjoy your weekend. God bless. And we will talk to you Monday. And as always, everybody, peace.